a lot about the this education process as a system. We discuss input, process, output, and outcome, and you also have done very well job. You differentiated between output and outcomes, and you also gave an explanations about this system starting from input until output and outcome. Well, now it is the continuity of previous materials with the definitions. As we know, organization is very familiar terms. Even every single day, we always work within the organizational system. So the general definitions is any situation in which two or more persons involved in common pursuits or common objectives. Yeah, it may call organizations because they have the common objectives and they work based on the objectives to fulfill or to achieve the objectives. And there are some experts define education as well. Rainey talk about the group of people, and the group of people work together to get the goal or to achieve the goal. And then Wellman also talk about the purpose. So organizations is systematically organize actions to achieve the purpose or to work on based on the objectives. So again, there are very general terms or general key points on organizations, which is objectives or goals. And the last definitions, they say organization is a system or two more persons. There is a cooperative actions there, and then they work to reach the purposes, the same, not some, but same purposes. So according to this definition, we can conclude that organization has personnel, which is the person who work on the organization, who run the organizations, and they have common or the same purpose or the same goals, and they work or they do the actions, they plan the programs to achieve the objectives or the goals or the purposes. And then this is very simple organization structure, organizational chart. If we talk about the organizations in educational management, so I think you can find it in every school, every educational institutions. And then next word, talk about the coordinations or line of authority. The first one, straight down relationship. You can look at the straight down relationship. It shows the authority from the superior to the inferior, from the leader to the member, or the head of the department, and then it can be directly to the member of the department. And it shows that number two, it's straight up relationship. So it is the relationship between the inferior to the superior. Maybe the head of sections will submit the report or the result or any advice maybe to the head of or the leader. It can be a straight up relationship. And then there is horizontal relationship. So horizontal relationship has equal authority or has equal power. So it may happen between or among the members, among the head of the sections, head of departments. And number four, there is down diagonal relationships. So down diagonal relationship may occur when a member of head sections or a member of department may coordinate with the different department or different head of department or different member of department. So it may come it may result down and up diagonal relationship. So when it is down, so from the top to the down, so head of sections B, for example, coordinate with the member of head of section A, or up diagonal relationship occur when the member of section B, for example, coordinate with the head of section C. So this is actually general features of line of authority. So I think you are very familiar with this. But later on, when you are let's say a leader in your educational institutions in school, for example, remember to make this and then what does straight down relationship means, what does straight up relationship means, and so on and so forth. You must make this to indicate the authority, the coordinations line among the members, or let's say the committee of the schools. Yeah, this is simple picture of our national educations. So um, our educational institution in educational system in Indonesia started from, let's say, at a free school, and then started to kindergarten and secondary school, high school, junior and senior high school. There is a vocational school, and I think last week we talked a little bit about the formal and informal and non-formal education. So it was very clear, I think. And then yeah, every nation has its own national education system, which portrays or which describe how long they have to go to school. They pursue, let's say, particular degree, high degree, higher degree, or postgraduate degree, and so on and so forth. This is an example of one of organizational structures in senior high school students, senior high school level. So there is a headmaster, and they have vice headmaster, vice principals, who are in charge with, let's say, public relation affairs, curriculum affairs, student affairs, facility affairs, and so on and so forth. They also can coordinate directly with a straight line directly to the teacher, class teacher, directly, or they may have a coordinations with the staff. I mean, the leader of staff or committee leader. Well, let's move to the last slide. Let's have discussions. Pay attention on the school organizations in previous slide. According to your experiences, what problems do you usually find at school organization management? When you were students, maybe you observe what kind of problems existed in your schools, or now you can observe, is there any like miscommunication among, let's say, headmasters, or with vice headmaster, vice principal, or teachers, and so on and so forth. Please observe the conditions of school, and then what are potential problems may exist in the school organization management system, and the answer can be posted in a commenter column in week 5 folder.